SMS pumping is a type of fraud that targets features that send text messages, like account creation, two-factor authentication, or phone verification. Attackers trigger these endpoints at scale using bots, sending large volumes of messages to premium rate numbers they control and collecting the carrier payouts. The costs, however, land entirely on you, and it can add up fast with abuse. In this video, I'll show you how to use Fingerprint to detect and block SMS pumping. We'll look at an account creation page that sends an SMS verification code, first without any protection, and then we'll add Fingerprint to block the abuse. Here's our create account page where we just enter our name and the phone number, and I can send myself an SMS verification code. The problem, though, here is, as you can see, I can continue to send as many SMS codes as I want to. Now, obviously, this is a demo application, but every one of those requests would fire off a real SMS that I have to pay for. There's no limits, there's no checks, just an open endpoint that will send as many messages as I ask it to. Now we're looking at the Fingerprint version of this page. Again, go ahead and add my name and the phone number, and I can start to send myself those SMS verification codes again. Now it starts off pretty similar to the last demo where I can keep clicking that button to continue to send myself codes, but at a certain point, as you can see, we're no longer able to do so. And that block is going to be there whether I change my IP address or clear cookies. Fingerprint is identifying the device behind the request. So even though those things changes, that same browser or device will continue to keep hitting that same wall. Now let's take a look and see how this is actually implemented. Now the first thing we're going to do is bring in the Fingerprint client right here immediately on page load using my public API key. Then when we want to actually identify that visitor, or when they click that button, we're going to ask Fingerprint using the get function to identify them. It's going to return to us the event ID. We'll use this later on to get more details. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just pass this to my backend along with the name and the phone number that we have on that form. Now in the backend, I'm just going to continue to send along this information, including the event ID here, so I can use it in my send SMS function. That function lives in a separate file called sms.js. Now the first thing we want to do here is bring in the Fingerprint Server API client. This time I'm using my secret API key, and this should never be exposed on the front end. Now, just like before, I'm going to continue to bring in and pipe through that event ID, and now we can actually use that event ID to get the full identification details. This includes things like browser tampering signals, virtual machine, proxy, etc., and more importantly here, bot detection. So not only can people just do this manually, they can also use bots, right? So our bot detection will return to you good, bad, or not detected, so you can actually block those bots. We'll also return to you our suspect score. The suspect score combines all our smart signals together into one number, indicating suspiciousness. So using the score, you can say, hey, we want to not allow SMS text messages, to go through if it's above a certain threshold. Now, the next thing we're going to look at here from that event is the visitor ID. Like I said, this is a stable identifier for any browser or device that doesn't change if you use incognito mode, clear cookies, or change your IP address. What we can do is actually use that as our way to count how many SMS messages have been sent to you within a certain time frame. Now, we've got a couple of helper functions here that we can use. This first one, count recent SMS requests. This is based off of the visitor ID. Now, at this point, we don't have anything in our database, but we're going to use this later on in the future to check how many have been sent in the last 24 hours. And we can say if more than 5 have been sent in the last 24 hours, then block that SMS message. We also have the send verification code. This is actually doing the sending. Obviously, this is a fake demo application, but this is where you'd have your actual send SMS code. And what we're doing here is we're also going to log that we sent that SMS code, but now we're going to log it alongside the visitor ID. So instead of trying to use the account name or the phone number even, or IP address, we can actually link this to the visitor ID, which is much, much more stable. And that's about it. We're all set on the back end. So if we go here and reset our database, we're going to refresh the page and we're going to start again. So entering my name and the phone number here, and it looks similar to before, right? We can go ahead and start to send those SMS codes over and over again, but after a while, it's going to block us. And even if I open this page in incognito mode, or if I turn on VPN, that block will still be there. But this is just for manual use, right? What about bots? So I've got a simple Puppeteer script here that will automatically hit that local page. This is my local demo, and it'll try and send the SMS codes to that phone number here as well. So let's go ahead and run this script and see what happens. Great, we can see that the SMS verification failed to send, and on the left-hand side, you can see it's because a bot was detected. So, SMS endpoints are easy targets because they're usually completely open. Anyone can just send or request an SMS code. Fingerprint lets you add device or browser level detection right where the message is triggered before it's even sent. Now, in a real implementation, you maybe would tune your threshold to fit your traffic and your use case. Maybe you add other layers of phone validation or phone number validation in with some other checks. But with Fingerprint, you're able to set up a layered strategy to protect your SMS bills from bad actors. So go ahead and take a look at the full tutorial and the example app for step-by-step instructions and try it out for yourself. Take care.